unfortunately, the 1 week we had, it was it tripped on the Monday, the Wednesday, the Friday. Then sadly, it also tripped on the Saturday and the Sunday. But through the entire process, the teams, at that point we only had one pump and motor that was in the station, because the other motor was actually out being repaired. That motor has been put back in. We've got two, and you say there's going to be another one, a third one coming in, which is absolutely fantastic. All those motors basically do is they just ensure that the water gets from the reservoir up into the tower, because the tower is fed by gravitational force. So when you have first thing in the morning and everybody's having a bath, or in the afternoon the kids are bathing and you're cooking and that's when your water consumption is a lot greater than say at 12 o'clock during the day. So you'll see that's when we'll have our height. Now what has happened is that the pump station team have been absolutely fantastic. Every load shedding, I send them the load shedding schedule, they go out and they check that it's actually gone on. Now we did have the situation last year. Our pumps are on one grid. I call it the B16 grid to make it easier. All the technical guys have their own names for it, but they've learned to dumb it down for me, I think. So we have the pumps that sit on B16, and we have the control panel, which sits here, which is on B10. So last year the energy department were able to move the pumps over to the B10 grid, so that when B10 went off, that was when everybody knew we would have problems, or we may experience problems. Because obviously if it is at 12 o'clock during the day, we'd have a little bit of low pressure. By the time the power comes back on, the pumps come back on, we're all fine and nobody's actually affected. But it's those the peak times from about 5 o'clock in the morning until about, I'd say 7, and then obviously the school children at school, and then we would have the very late afternoon from about 4 to about 8 o'clock at night, when those two peak times. And they were very, very conscious.
Projects that we need to implement, and then after implementing them, we can say the problem will be solved 100%. So there's basically this existing tower, as you can see, and then we are building this one. Then the other leg is to upgrade the existing pump station. Then the other leg is to then deal with the pipelines. Because once we have sorted this is more about the storage, receiving water and you store it, but we still need to distribute it. So there's that element that we still need to do, and as I'm saying, it's a program. So what we are doing for now, it's just this reservoir, and upon completing it, some problems will be solved, but not all the problems will be solved, because it's more of a program. We might need 2 years or 3 years to accomplish the whole program. As I said, there's upgrading of the pump station, there's pipelines that we need to sort out. But regarding the current problem, it is a problem shared between us, water, and energy. Because obviously if there is load shedding, we should have maybe a generator that will kind of assist in such cases. But I understand that energy, they've been here to try and assist us in ensuring that if there are power trips, then the system is not completely dead. So the reasons for those trips, it's more of an electrical supply issue. And then when that happens, obviously, the pump station is used. There are machines there that are pumping out the water. So if there's no power, then you can't pump. So that is basically the reason for that. But another bigger issue is that we usually call such areas a complex, because there is 2 or 3 components in one site. So this complex as is now, it's actually feeding more than it should be feeding, because there is an element of Northmead, Faramir, Brentwood Park, parts of Rhinefield, and I think there's an area called Goederberg. Yeah. So the supply zones, the demand is actually more than what we have currently.
So our standard across the city is that we are moving from 24-hour storage to 36 hours. Mm-hmm. Okay? So in other words, if there's an outage, people must still have water whilst upstream they are trying to resolve their problems. Now for this tower, it's just a 1.1, the one that is currently serving the area that he has mentioned. It's a big area. So what you have is that because it's such a big area, once there's an outage, whether there's a tripping of the line or there's a pipe burst, immediately that water that is in the tower gets drained away.